Hi, second grade. We are talking about emotional management today. Okay? So I'm going to introduce you to Tina. And we're going to talk about her story. And so this is Tina right here. Okay? And this is her friend, Isabel. Okay? So Isabel and Tina. Okay? And Isabel just realized that Tina's shirt is on backwards and she's been wearing it like that all day. Tina wants to hide. She starts wondering if everybody else noticed. So I want you to go ahead and look at Tina's cues on her face. And I want you to do some think time. And I want you to share with someone in your home. How do you think Tina is feeling right now? Yeah. Okay. If you said that she's feeling embarrassed or upset, you are correct. So she has a very worried look on her face, right? And so her mouth is open, her eyes are open, very worried, upset. And so if you said embarrassment, you are right, because if we maybe have our shirt on backwards, some of you might not even care, but or you slipped and fell out at recess, or you got some answers wrong in class, you might feel embarrassed. Is embarrassed a comfortable feeling or an uncomfortable feeling? If you look at embarrassed, is it a comfortable feeling or an uncomfortable feeling? Uncomfortable, right? It makes our body kind of feel icky inside. Yeah. And so when you think about Tina here, she's probably feeling very icky inside, right? She might be feeling hot. Her heart might be racing, feeling a little panic, right? Yeah. Okay. And so when we get embarrassed, we do activities or things that are very reactive, because our brain just tells us that we need to run and go away, or our brain tells us that we need to fight. And let me explain why. Okay? Give me 5. Okay? Take your thumb and put it on the inside of your hand like this. Put your 4 fingers together. Miss Nelson has to fix her ring. There we go. Put your 4 fingers together, and I want you to close them down around that thumb. Okay? And we're going to pretend that this is Tina's brain right now. And so in our brain, there is a part in the back, in the middle part of our brain, called the limbic system. And it is also known as our freeze, fight, and flight. And let me explain what that means. Long, long time ago, we needed to know how to survive. And so this part of our brain, and animals have it too, but this part of our brain helped us do that. So it's on high alert. And so when our body becomes stressed because of a situation, this part of our brain takes over, so that way we can survive. Then we have this part, which is our thinking part. This is our thinking part of our brain. So this part right here in the front, okay? This is our thinking part of our brain. And our thinking part of our brain helps us to control the emotional part of our brain right here. So if this is Tina's brain, and she's perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden, Isabel tells her that her shirt is on backwards. Tina's emotional part of her brain starts reacting, causing her to flip her lid. Okay? And so think of it as a soda being shaked up, right? Enough pressure, it just like pops the lid. Okay? So Tina has flipped her lid because she's embarrassed. She's having these uncomfortable feelings. Her body is reacting. This part of her brain's reacting, saying there's something not right. And so either Tina is going to run away and hide, or she's going to become agitated. And so what Tina needs to do is use this part of her brain, her thinking part, to be able to control the emotional part. And so the feeling part of your brain when you're embarrassed is it overloads. So a person can feel a little bit embarrassed, and they can feel a strong feeling of embarrassment. So a really big embarrassment, right? And that's the same with any emotion. You can be a little bit mad, or you can be a lot mad. You can be a little bit sad, or you can be a lot sad, right? And so when we have those strong, intense emotions, this part of our brain just takes over. And it's really hard for us to think clearly. That's why using skills can help you to control this part of the brain. Because if you are doing things that cause thinking, you're able to reduce that emotional part of your brain, and you're able to think more clearly, and you're able to calm yourself down. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. And so uncomfortable feelings in her body are cues that thinking part of her brain is losing control. When she starts to realize how she's feeling, she is using the thinking part of her brain to help her manage feelings, which we kind of went over. Okay? So our next lesson that I'm going to teach, and because these two lessons go together, we're just going to do them back to back. Okay? So the next one that we're going to do is managing the embarrassment. So Tina has just found out by Isabel that her shirt's on backwards. Tina is having her heart race. She's feeling really embarrassed, which is an uncomfortable feeling. Her brain went from this to flipping her top, right? Because she's having strong emotions right now, and this part of the brain is like, wants to run away, okay, and hide, okay? So here she is again. Here's Tina. And she's really embarrassed. And she wonders how many people in the school have seen or noticed that her shirt was backwards. And, you know, a lot of times people don't notice. They don't really pay attention if your shirt's on backwards or not. But some people might. But it's about how we perceive, right? How we perceive ourselves when we're around others. So even though somebody may not have seen her shirt, she perceives this is a bad situation, which makes her feel uncomfortable and embarrassed. Okay? Okay. So, we have our brain, right? And she feels really uncomfortable, and she notices it. She notices that she's feeling hot. She notices her heart is racing. So she has done really good work, and she's been able to identify when her body feels uncomfortable. That is cue that she needs to do something, right? Because if she doesn't, then this part of her brain is going to take over. And so she knows she needs to do something, and she knows she's having a strong feeling. She wants to run and hide. She needs to do something to manage that strong feeling and get back into control, right? Think about why running and hiding won't help Tina. Take a few minutes, do some think time. Why do you think running and hiding would not help her? Go ahead and share it with someone in your home. Why do you think that won't help her? Okay. Good. Miss Nelson knows that running and hiding from situations only causes the emotion to become stronger because the issue's not been addressed. So even though she runs and hides and not deal with the situation, she then increases her strong emotion because the situation is still there. She still doesn't know who's seeing her shirt on backwards, right? So running and hiding is only going to make it worse. Okay? Tina can do something to manage her strong emotions and get back in control. Calm down. These are the first 2 steps in calming down. Tina decides to use these steps to help herself manage her strong feelings using self-talk. She says to herself, "Chill out. I'm feeling really embarrassed right now." And so remember, we go back to how to calm down poster, right? And down here, it says stop. Use your signal. Her signal is chill out. You know, yours could be stop. Yours could be whatever you want it to be, but hers is chill out. And then she named her feeling. She named exactly how she was feeling. I'm feeling embarrassed. Now let's see the third part, okay? What 2 words did Tina use to sing out? We already went over that, to chill out, right? Okay. After she uses her stop signal and names her feeling, she begins to calm down. She realizes it's not a big deal and it could happen to anyone. And so her ability to calm down was her self-talk, right? This can happen to anybody. I'm not alone in this situation. I'll just go turn my shirt back right. Not a big deal. But I want you to think about what would have happened if she would have reacted negatively. You know, she probably could have had a really bad day. But she didn't. She chose to use the calm down skills. She said, chill out. I'm feeling frustrated. And she used positive self-talk to turn it around. Right? And it's really simple. We have these simple skills in place to be able to help you manage your emotions. And nobody else can do this for you. You're the one that has to use the skills. A lot of times, kiddos may say that the skills just don't work for them. And I always remind them that you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to turn your mind. You have to make it more positive. You need to come up with a solution, and you need to deal with the situation at hand before you can move on. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Till next week. See ya.